marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.
Hello and welcome. No one could have imagined that Goa's tourism industry would suffer such a severe blow in 2020. One can see thousands of Indian tourists flocking to Goa right now, probably because it is still not safe to travel anywhere else in the world. That also means international high-spending tourists cannot come down to Goa. The number of foreign arrivals was already decreasing when COVID hit. What could be the post-COVID version of tourism industry?
The travel and tourism sector is desperate to make a comeback from the COVID-19 pandemic, as the hospitality business in Goa is struggling to make its ends meet. Goa, which heavily depends on international tourists during the season, nonetheless is witnessing a huge inflow of domestic visitors. However, at present, what matters to the industry is volume and not value, as the coastal state is busy entertaining the low-spending visitors. COVID-19 outbreak has presented unprecedented circumstances before the fragile tourism and hospitality industry. The pandemic continues to thwart the sector and raises serious questions about its present and future sustains. Though the sector was slowly limping back to normalcy, the new strain of coronavirus found in the UK has once again upset the recovery. In view of the international travel restrictions, the industry is currently surviving on domestic tourists. This season will see no arrival of charter flights to Goa. The opening of tourism since July brought relief to hotels and restaurants. It was slow to pick up. December, the festive month, turned out crucial on the recovery front, considering that it attracted innumerable visitors to the state. The beach shacks wore a deserted look. The beaches were full of low spenders and drive-in domestic tourists whose contribution to the economic wheel is almost nothing. Irrespective of this season, the foreign tourist inflow is otherwise slowly losing on to holidayers and encouraging low spenders. The annual figures for 2017-18 tourist season was 4,64,198 charter tourists, that dropped to 4,20,503 during 2018-19 tourist season. This also indicates that the number of chartered plunged from 1,984 to 1,599 in the respective years, a drop of 385 flights. As per calendar year, 2018 saw a partial increase in overall tourist inflow by around 2.95% compared to 2017. That had witnessed 22% rise compared to 2016. The 2019 also reported only 0.61% more visitors. Last year, 2019 saw 9,37,113 foreign tourist arrivals, while 71.26 lakh domestic visitors. Also in 2018, almost 71 lakh domestic visitors arrived in the coastal state, while the foreign numbers were hardly 9.33 lakhs. Cheap liquor and beaches is all that attracts the domestic travelers, while the high-spending visitors have preferred other international destinations, until last year at almost a similar package that Goa tourism industry offers.
Close to 50 lakh tourists have arrived in Goa for celebrating New Year. As you can see, none of the tourists have been following the COVID-19 protocols, and that is the reason I am hesitant to remove my mask. However, the challenge for Goa's tourism industry may mount only after this festive season. Vrishang Matme for Goa Ahead.
The topic that we are discussing today is Goa's tourism. Can it bounce back out of this COVID situation and some inherent problems of Goa's tourism industry? And when we are looking at a reset button, what do we need to do? I have four panelists with me. First and foremost, Minister in the State Cabinet and a man who knows tourism industry better than most, Michael Lobo. So welcome to the studio. Second, I have senior leader of the Congress party and spokesperson Sankalp Amonkar. Sankalp, welcome. And I have two more guests with me. Goa convener of Aam Aadmi Party, Rahul Mamre. And last but not the least, President of Travel and Tourism Association of Goa, Nilesh Shah. Nilesh, I'll start with you because you are the biggest stakeholder on this panel. What do you want to tell? Because there are three major political parties representing on this panel. What do you want to tell them from the stakeholders' point of view?
First of all, promote the compliment of the seasons to all of you. Main thing is the topic which you have selected is tourism in the mode of revival. I will say we are on mode of survival still. If you go to see, one thing good about the Goa government, if you compare to other states, specifically on tourism sector, once they have opened up, they have not looked back. And there is always a gradual, as per the MHA guidelines, everything is open up and there are no night curfews, there are no more curfews, everything was gone on the rise only. But one thing which we want like to bring to the notice, that total number of rooms available in Goa is around 46,000 and 27,000 are open. That means 19,000 rooms are still not open in Goa. So we'll have to do a lot of right things to see that this all smaller hotels open up. Specifically tour operators, there is absolutely less business. Travel agents, they are in very bad state. Overall industry is on positive note. The situation is very bad, but I think we'll have to do a lot more to come out of from survival to revival.
Revival mode. Rahul Mamre, one simple question. Everybody knows it's a very calamity that we are facing. At the same time, there is an opportunity in this because as Nilesh mentioned, we are still in survival mode. We are looking positively at a revival mode. When we are pushing this reset button, what do you think we need to do? Because there were some inherent deficiencies in our tourism sector. This could be a best opportunity to get rid of them. How do you look at it?
Pramod, see, there is no doubt tourism is a key part of the Goan economy. So if you see, almost 40% of the population of Goa is dependent on tourism directly or indirectly. Now, as Nilesh and as you said, tourism has been on survival mode for last 6 months now. Now, the steps the government is to take has to become from the government side, from the tourism stakeholders. First of all, I come to the basic thing. The RT-PCR test for a tourist who come from outside Goa, they are charged 4,500. That's in a private lab. Whereas if you compare to the other states, it's around 400 to 800 in that range. So basically, we are creating obstacle at the very first stage when a tourist arrives into Goa. Secondly, what are the fiscal incentives which the the government has provided to the hotel industry? Like for example, GST, it's pegged at 5%. For others, it is much higher also, 12%. So why can't they give a relief scheme? Okay, why can't they boost? So I know it's a central act itself, but there are ways to accommodate this. If GST relief can be provided, the hotel tariffs comes down and all. It's an incentive where you get people from outside Goa to enjoy the stay over here. So basically, fiscal incentives also need to be added to by the government. Plus, we have got ST only met a taxi driver. They are in terrible plight. Okay, coming to tourism, because they have been the bread and butter of tourism also, for transporting tourists from one place to another. They are in a dire state. So why no physical incentives are provided to them, a monthly sort of allowance? I can tell you, Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi has been providing 5,000 monthly relief during the peak, during the lockdown period. There was no such thing in Goa at all.
Sankalp, how is Congress looking at it? Are you looking at it as an opportunity where things can be set right? Or your party still feels that government needs to do more just for the industry to come out of the survival mode?
See, presently the government has totally failed. And when we know that especially like mining, like tourism is the backbone of our state, we know that mining has been collapsed. And here also if you go to see, the tourism is also a backbone where the maximum revenue presently comes from the tourism. And so presently the tourism also, the government support is not there. Government has failed on the entire part to protect the interest of this tourism. The people who are running this tourism in Goa, especially the taxi people, the hotel people, the people who are running the hotels, the shacks owner, and the other people who are related. During this lockdown, if you go to see, the government has not given any relief to these people. When the taxi people were fighting Baba, that we require some relief from the government because they were without job. Vehicles were lying idle, and now when the tourism has started little, according to our Nilesh Bab, around 60-50% of tourism has started in Goa, but the government is not cooperating.
Michael Bab, you know the industry better than anybody else. And everybody on this panel is saying only one thing, that your government needs to do more. Do you agree that your government has not done enough?
See, first of all, the pandemic had started, the lockdown started from March 22nd. And then we slowly started opening up this industry, the tourism industry, which is the major economic industry of the state of Goa. I disagree to certain panelists that 40% is depending on tourism. No. We are right now 60% of the population of Goa depends directly on this and indirectly on this. But from the time of August, government has done enough. Government opened the industry. Earlier we had SOPs. We removed all the SOPs. All. Practically today there are no SOPs. Goa is the only state in India where we have opened up. Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant is very much convinced when I spoke to him that this is the only industry which will give you relief for your state treasury. We will get GST in different ways. It's not only the hotel which is going to pay you 12%, but you will get GST in lot of other ways. That is
Basically, what you are saying is that there needs to be more movement.
See, we have opened up the industry in all possible ways. There is no other state in our country, India, who has opened up the industry. There is no testing being done at the airports, at the railway stations. Right from September, we had suspended it from them, and from that time the numbers have increased. Today the occupancy in all the hotels is 100% right from 18th. We have also waived off 6 months road tax, 6 months passenger tax, or any other penalty which was imposed on the taxi owners, rent-a-bike owners, any commercial vehicle. We have waived it off.
After listening to Michael, one question that comes to my mind is volume versus value. Nilesh Bab, how do you look at it? Because of late everybody is saying that the high-end tourist is turning away from Goa. And we are caught up in this debate of volume versus value. Sometimes the volume looks good, it is okay, but it doesn't bring as much of value as the high-end tourist brings. How, as a major stakeholder, you are looking at this matter?
See, one thing we have to understand, in Goa, we have welcoming all segment of tourists. So we cannot say we just want value-based tourists. Now we have also a small hotel, as Michael Bab said. There's only many small hotels which are there. So they also requires the occupancy. Bigger hotels also require occupancy. And it is a gradual process. It's actually, if you ask me, it is all market driven. And it will be demand and supply. Like right now, when the tourism industry opened, there was a lot of requirement with the 5-star hotels because the customer felt it may be a safety, and very high-end villas had a very good occupancy because of the safety aspects. So basically, I feel we will have a mixed crowd always, and gradually we'll have upmarket tourists, because one thing understand, upmarket tourists what they require.
But what is the upmarket tourist turning away from Goa, and is that a matter of concern?
I personally feel if you see the more and more 5-star hotels opening up in Goa, I think we are going to attract more upmarket tourists anyway, and it will increase. So what we need to do is our basics right. The topic which are in, what we need to do. I am saying we don't do nothing. We just do our basics right. We have clean beaches. We see that our garbage has been well processed. We have a good roads. We have good changing rooms, along with good toilets at all the beach, all the tourist spots.
Get the basics right. I think your message from the industry is get the basics right, and we will be more or less sorted. Rahul, how do you look at this volume versus value debate? And do you feel that of late, because the way our industry has conducted itself, or way our policies have been framed, the high-end tourist is turning away from Goa? Or, as Nilesh says, let it be market-driven. Let us not get into that distinction too much.
Let me, before I come to your point, Pramod, let me just correct Honorable Minister. The 40% of the figure which I said Goa people are dependent on are from the Sarkari document itself. I was referring to the figures that came in the tourism master policy, which says 40%. Secondly, they did a waiver of the road tax. But I need to correct the minister there also and inform your audience also. They come with this policy somewhere in August. It's remained in the file. Thereafter, on 22nd of December, our party took up agitation at the RT offices in Mapsa, Margao, and Panjim. 23rd, the notification comes out. So they did made an announcement in August. Till next 4-5 months, nothing was done. So until we came on the roads, took up this matter, then the waiver was given. And even now, the tourists, the taxi persons who have paid the road tax and all, they are charged penalty and fine. Now the government says they'll refund it. But what's the process refund? That leave it aside. I don't know how the process. It's made a statement for public consumption. Now coming to your issue about tourism, the influx of
Value
the types
versus
of
value. Yeah.
Now again here we have engaged consultant to engage into a tourism policy. They paid the government paid them 5 crores. In this document, they are saying 89% of the tourists who come to Goa are domestic tourists. Having paid such huge fees, it was their task to inform why foreign tourists are not coming into Goa. That document completely is silent on that aspect itself. 89% is the domestic tourists. I have no grudges against domestic tourists. Everybody is welcome, as Nilesh also said. But when you hire a consultant, they need to study why foreign tourists are not coming into Goa, why it's not an alternative option for them. They go to other countries, other states like Kerala and all. Goa is not coming for obvious reasons like destruction of environment. The beaches are not clean. I mean, you know the state of beaches in Goa. So these are various issues. Our tourism minister holds junkets in foreign countries to invite tourists. They go along with the babus and their family as well. But what is the return? The tourism policy says 11% is just foreign tourists. So where are we? What are the priorities of the government? Why are they spending so much on that then? So it's complete hogwash which this government is doing.
Okay. Yeah. Sankalp, how do you look at it? How your party looks at it? Do you think from an international tourist destination, slowly we are getting reduced to a national tourist destination? And why?
So the main problem is why we are not able to attract the foreign tourist. I think somewhere here the government has failed totally, and especially our tourism minister. Tourism minister has become such a cartoon in our state, like everywhere as we know that he goes with his family and all that. And his main aim is that he should get his 30%. Whatever activities goes in Goa regarding tourism, even whatever activities he goes and try to do it in other countries and all, his only concern is about his 30% commission. So these are the things which has to be stopped. Then only we will able to attract the new foreign people in Goa, the new people in Goa, and the valued customer in Goa.
Okay. Michael Bab, how do you look at it? Two things. Number one, serious allegation of corruption. That is, a senior leader of the Congress is leveling against your tourism minister. And secondly, about the question, volume versus value. You being from the industry, how do you look at it?
Talking about foreign tourists getting declined. Foreign tourists have actually not got declined. The numbers are the same. You check the figures. But certain markets in Europe, I fully agree that they are not coming back. Certain markets in Europe. Like earlier we used to have French, we used to have some other country.
Why? Why are they not coming
Sweden,
back? Why have they
flights.
turned away from Goa?
See, we need to study on this. Definitely, yes, I fully agree with you. They have stopped coming into Goa. Germany, flights from Germany used to come. They have stopped. A lot of flights from UK used to come, but now they have cut down. But we have got an increase in Russian tourism. Russian tourists who are coming in slow numbers, they have doubled up, tripled up. But definitely we need to bring back the European tourist. We need to do a study on this, and department has to do a study not by giving to do a study to somebody else, but we have got expertise in our department. We have got expertise like Nilesh Bab. Their entire TTAG is there, who are experienced people who are in this industry for so many years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Regarding the allegation, the opposition has to put allegations on the commission, whatever he's talking about. I disagree with that, and I totally say that the industry, which is the only industry in the state of Goa, the Congress also should join hands with us. Like the 10 Congress MLAs have joined hands with the
They haven't
ruling
joined
Bharatiya
hands.
Janata Party.
They have joined your party.
No, no, they have joined hands.
They have
They have
joined the
joined hands
party.
and joined the party also.
So
No,
we
no.
will come to know it very soon
Okay.
on
They
4th
have, they
January.
have
4th
joined
January.
why? For the progress of the state.
Okay. Nilesh, final. Two quick points if you want to tell this government what they need to do on urgent basis. What would be those two crucial points?
Implement things which are required for the state, like taximeters, which has been pending for quite some time. I think that is only, see, basically one thing we have to understand, once tourism opens up, once COVID cases goes down, we are going to compete domestically and internationally with other markets also. We have a lot of Indian tourists also who goes abroad, and lot of foreign tourists also coming into Goa. So if we have to get them back, we'll have to show them that we are safe, we are transparent, and that is only way forward. Because basically, let's understand that everybody will come if you get a good value for the state. So we'll have to implement those things. Safety aspect, we'll have to. We have a good system at the beach where for the people who are drowning, all those things are there. But besides that, we'll require to do the cleanliness and the why, as Michael Bob just said, why certain tourists have lost. We'll have to do our homework, and it is not rocket science. Everybody knows everything. Let's sit across and try to
It is
resolve.
not rocket science. It is the basic.
It
It is the basic science that is probably not very lucrative. I think that's the problem. Rahul Mamre. Two quick things that you expect this government to do urgently so that we get into this revival mode from the present survival mode.
Right. So the government envisages forming a Goa Tourism Board. Now it's a 18-member board, again recommended as per the tourism policy. Now if you see the composition of this board, around 12 members of either government appointed, either ministers of Sarkari Babus, and 5 of them are from the tourism industry. Now basic question is, who knows tourism better, the government Babus or the tourism stakeholders? Like suggestions, people like Nilesh, other tourism industry stakeholders, they need to be on board more. Giving them a 5 is not sufficient enough. So get the voices right from the taxi walas to small restaurants, then small lodges, 5-star hotels. Get everybody on board, get their views on board, and form a policy which is all comprehensive, where people of Goa,
Which is workable.
which is workable, and which people of Goa prosper on that, and the tourists have a lovely time over here.
Yeah, thanks, Rahul. Sankalp, quickly, one suggestion that you want to give this government, or you don't expect this government to do anything.
Then, see, Congress, when we were in the ruling, when we were in the government, for last so many years, the Congress only has brought up this tourism in Goa. The foreign tourist and all that time what we used to come to Goa is because of our policy, what Congress government has introduced that time, and we had a lot of these tourists. Today, for last 8 years, my friend and the BJP government is running, where they have failed it miserably. And I only want to request the government, because as per the present situation, the second phase of COVID is rising. So better we should also be very careful with the tourists which are coming in Goa. We should also take care. We are not saying we want tourism to start in Goa, but we should also take care.
Let us not be reckless.
Yeah, we should take care of also our Goan people. We have to think about our own Goan people. Just because we want tourism, we should not be careless, and this COVID situation should not be harmful to the people of
so
Goa.
you are saying let's not be reckless.
Yeah. So basically,
when we are saying let's open up, let's not be reckless. That's what you are saying.
Trying to tell.
Yeah. Michael Bob, very frankly, you are one of the stakeholders. Although you are a part of the cabinet and you are defending your government, very frankly, what do you expect government to do urgently when we are looking at the shift from survival to revival?
See, I think we have already come into revival, and now we have to climb up, no going back. The last 1 year we have suffered because of COVID. We started that there was a decline in foreign tourism or international tourism right from November, from the time the news started spreading of the COVID-19. And December was quite, we were totally hit. January we were hit more. So we cannot go back into that mode. We have to see the way how we can go ahead. And to go ahead, we have to take all measures whatever is required But I don't think the second wave will come over here, because we are very much positive that the vaccine has already come and the world is already started taking it. And now we are waiting when India, we will start getting the health workers, the policemen, or whatever, whoever are the frontline workers of the COVID situation. They will get it first. The industry also will get. Everybody will get. So we are positive that the vaccine will come. People will take the vaccine. The world will open up back again, and Goa will positively go ahead in this tourism sector, because this is our only industry which is surviving in Goa. The population is depending on this. The youth are depending on this. The youth are self-employed on this. Everybody has got his own business. They are standing on their own feet.
Yeah.
So let us all work together for
So
this
I think
industry.
tourism is one industry that largely moves on sentiment, and Michael Bab is trying his best to keep that sentiment positive. I think two simple takeaways from this debate is what Nilesh said: get your basics right and most of our problems will be sorted. And second issue is, let's not be reckless. At the same time, let's look at revival from a very pragmatic point of view. Thanks a lot, everybody, for participating in this debate. Keep watching. Go ahead.
Marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.